I believe covering your face is part of dressing modestly to avoid attraction when you go out.
Why should men not be required to cover their faces too?
It's a good point, but I wouldn't question that if this is how I...
Because women are subjugated in Islam and men are not. Hi guys, this is Sahar TV, and in today's video we will discuss whether niqab should be banned in westernized countries. In this video specifically, it's in the UK. Let's have a look.
I cover my face out of my own choice. I choose to cover it, and partly because I'm a Muslim, and being a Muslim, our Creator in the Quran does say to cover yourselves in a modest way, and I feel
this is beyond modest. You're covering yourself to the point where the safety of other people is compromised. We don't know who you are. You can commit whatever crime you want and just leave, and nobody will know who you are. That's a problem.
I believe covering your face is part of dressing modestly to avoid...
That's a good question.
Well, it's about the burqa, isn't it, and about the woman wearing a veil.
Yeah.
And it's about why women are wearing a veil.
Yes, but I'm interested, if it's about equality, and you feel a sense of liberation, don't you? Why should men not be required to cover their faces too?
It's a good point, but I wouldn't question that if this is how I...
Because women are subjugated in Islam and men are not. That's why you need two women in court, because their testimony is worth half of that of a man.
Understand what the scholars have said, then I would do it.
And it's God's will?
It's God's will. And if you out of your free will choose to be a Muslim, then that's part and parcel of it.
And you're closer to the Prophet, you feel?
Absolutely. You emulate the Prophet's life.
Yeah, emulating the Prophet's life. And also a sense of liberation. You know, she doesn't feel a slave to the fickleness of fashion and being judged.
I'm an Imam in Oxford, and in my Friday sermon I gave 3 compelling reasons why we shouldn't allow the burqa and the niqab to become fashionable commodities in British society.
Should they be banned?
No, I think the British way is not to ban something because it becomes counterproductive. But I want to really elaborate on the 3 reasons, and I want the audience to consider these 3 reasons. The first reason is that nowhere in the Quran is the word burqa or niqab being used.
Develop it through the course of the debate, because there's some potent points there. Hamza, please come back on those points. Then we'll open it up.
I've got to stress that it's a freedom of choice. I've chosen to cover my face. I'm not doing it because some...
You told that the scholars in Scottsdale, I think you said, or whatever, told you to do it? Isn't that the...
Hamza, do you not see that it might well... Some people find it alienating and some people find it threatening, because the face is such a vital part of our communication. Is it not?
Agreed, but then we live in a free country, and I think we should be able to dress as we please.
Dennis McEwen, we can't ban this, can we? This is ridiculous to say. We don't ban things in this country.
We don't ban things, but we can make it very difficult for people to do them. There are lots of things we make difficult. Hamza's problem, I think, is that she doesn't seem to have read any Islamic literature. If she reads the books, the articles, the fatwas, and listens to many of the sermons I've listened to, all explaining that the reason a woman has to wear these forms of clothing is because the woman is inferior to men, it will incite lust in men, a woman should remain in her home unless her husband gives her permission to go outside the home.
So who is it more offensive to, women or men, this then?
I think it's offensive, actually, to an awful lot of people. It's offensive to Jewish, Christian and Hindu women who were chaste without dressing like this.
I've never heard so much rubbish. I don't know what sort of Islamic literature you're reading, but it certainly isn't the same Islamic literature I'm reading. I don't think...
What in the world is she wearing? I don't like that style. I don't like that fashion. Oh my God.
Hamza should be criticised for her choice, her piety, but I think this is more. This is above religion. This is about a woman's...
Joy, you want to come in? Labour PPC?
Yeah, can I just bring a different perspective to this, because I think that you're quite wrong, actually. If you look, I want to talk about the evolution of British women in the last 150 years, and I'm afraid, without trying to cause any offence to the young lady in front of me. Your dress wear has absolutely nothing to say to me about the evolution of women, modern women, in British society. If you look at the evolution of women's role in British society, from the vote through to equal pay, through to maternity leave, you know, those are absolutely key
Is it
moments.
not her choice to wear what she wants to wear?
It is her choice, but
people
there is a wider,
we see people in life, Anna Joy, don't we, with bits of metal through their face.
Well, Nicky,
you know.
but with the greatest respect, I think that this is a question about the kind of civil society that we in modern Britain want to live in the 21st century.
Okay.
And I think that the burqa does not have a place in a modern British civil society.
Against that view.
If she takes the plane, if she flies somewhere, is she going to keep the burqa on or the niqab on? No, she's going to take it off to show her face so people can check her passport and make sure that the face in the passport is the same face that she has. It is not good for safety. If you want people to resemble with your culture or with your traditions, the least you should do is show your face. You want to cover your hair? Cover your hair. That's fine. You want to cover your hands? Cover your hands. But your face is a vital part for people to integrate with other cultures.
It does show an evolution of British society that maybe 150 years ago, people weren't allowed to cover their faces because women weren't equal. But now they have the freedom to cover their faces, that's what they will.
That's rather paradoxical, isn't it?
It's a paradox. If it's evolution of free will.
Yeah. Father, Jerry, you're not a father, are you?
No, I'm not. I'm Methodist.
You're someone's father, maybe?
Yes. I didn't think about that.
Sorry about that. Yes, that's a bit worrying for a man in a dog collar. What about this? Is this a sign, a symptom of subjugation?
I want to approach it from a purely pragmatic point of view. If we ban the burqa, or whatever it's called, I'm not even sure that's the right word for it.
Niqab, burqa, the general idea.
If we ban that, where do we stop? Do we then go on to ban turbans, crosses, dog collars?
No, because people can still see your face. What a retarded argument.
Do we go on to ban everything else?
The difference surely is that Badisha, her face is being covered. But what, Peter Hitchens, what does it say about what they think about men, that our passions could be so easily inflamed? Look at all these bare faces that we've got in the studio. Are we all...
But what you and people like you don't answer, and I really want to answer, if the Quran is a transcendent, immutable, divine text, why didn't God put in the word niqab or burqa? And, for example, the issue is really, you know, this is not something that is required by religion. Religion asks for modesty. It doesn't dictate the modesty. What you're wearing is a Saudi Wahhabi thing, tribal dress.
Hamza, I'm interested in, Peter asked you a very interesting question.
Love this dude.
Interested in why this would be, in your ideal society, why it would be safer if all women, for example, in the studio and as we walk the streets and go about our business, were covered as you are.
I'm not going to say cover as I am. I'm saying if everybody dressed in a more modest way and didn't maybe more looser clothing, etc. I think there'd be.
What do you think then when you see the way that some young women dress in this country with just everything hanging out? What do you think?
There's loads of problems in society. It's a very unhealthy society that we live in. There are so many problems. There are very young pregnancies. There are which you do not find in.
I think what you're wearing is unhealthy. Right, you can say that it's your choice, but you're doing it because somebody told you to, because it resembles and emulates the wives of the Prophet, and you want to be like them. So it's not actually your choice. You were told to be like this. When I look at this lady, I don't see a free woman. I see a trapped woman, an oppressed woman. That's what it looks like. Why? So she doesn't please the men.
Not so many in the Islamic culture.
Badisha?
I think it's very, very dangerous to look at a society and for one woman to blame other women for the ills of what is done to us as women. If the argument is that wearing something like this repels sexual harassment and all sorts of other kind of harassment, I think that in every situation of harassment, discrimination, sexist behaviour, anything like that, the responsibility is on the perpetrator, not on the victim. It's not good enough for us to say, oh, look at these Western women with everything hanging out. We have every right to do exactly what we like. A woman has a right to walk down the street naked and not be harassed or attacked.
Miriam.
To be honest with you, I completely agree, but what I would add is that it's completely irrelevant what Hamza thinks of young women down the street or what you or I think about Hamza. At the end of the day, what feminist battles were fought in this country, what the feminist achievements were the right for women to self-determination, to make decisions for ourselves, be it about contraception, be it about marriage, be it about how we dress, be it about whether we mould our bodies to the conception.
Isn't she saying, I don't want to be part of your society? By covering her face up.
This is a question you have to ask her, and that's a question she's responded to you by saying no. She's saying to you, this is a choice I find empowering, and feminism is about supporting women who found empowerment, whatever route they find their empowerment through.
Claire.
I mean, it's ironic in a way that we can only have this conversation about the woman's right to choose in the West, where we have the kind of guarantee of equal rights for women before the law, and in other countries, women are forced to wear the burqa. It's not a matter of free choice. And so... Yes, because in a way we need the language of the West. We need the language, which is a language coming out of a non-Islamic kind of tradition, to make the case that women are free to wear the burqa.
There's a European Muslim culture, and we're discussing it from within a European Muslim culture, and it's absolutely outrageous.
So are you saying that within Islamic culture, the language is completely a free choice?
The fact of the matter is there is a European Muslim culture in which there is, of course, influence from the language and the debates which have enriched Muslim culture in this country.
Wait. Am I in danger of having my passions inflamed by seeing your face?
Personally, obviously, and again, I think my opinion on this is completely irrelevant. The fact
I don't think it's irrelevant.
Well, I think it is, because the discussion...
Well, that's the reason why she's doing it, so it is relevant.
Shouldn't be about what you think or I think. It should be about women's choice to make decisions about their own bodies for themselves.
Have I got a right to feel insulted that somebody thinks I would be inflamed if I saw their face?
Only if you assume that that's what they're thinking, and I think for quite a large portion of these women, that's not what they're thinking.
Yes,
someone earlier mentioned the word piety, and we haven't talked about that at all, and I think that's quite key, because in some Christian traditions, like, you have nuns who will, wear veils and things, and when they join a religious order, maybe they're told that they have to do that. And yes, they've made a choice to join the religious order, but what they do is an act of piety. They're not saying everyone has to do it. And I think it's very interesting because you mentioned that it's an act of piety. So, I don't know, maybe you'd like to elaborate on that a little bit, because I think that's quite important.
Well, let me bring it, Father Stephen in. Nasser, I will come to you and Hamza again. But the difference is we can see, with a nun, we can see her face.
I was thinking I teach at a secondary school here in New York, and I took some of the teenagers to one of the convents for Mass to see them and to talk to them. And one of the great things was that they, when we were walking home to school, some of the kids were saying, "Gosh, Father, we didn't realise they were so happy." They were quite genuinely shocked that somebody could become a nun, give their life to God,
but they could see
and
their
still
face.
be happy. But they could see their face. And my friend here is right. There are pious traditions that are associated with different religions, and it's their choice. It's totally our friend here's choice, and we shouldn't persecute her for that. And this is England. We don't ban things that aren't harmful to other people. However, I would just say a pure observation, and I don't mean this judgmentally at all, but what I mean is I've been sitting here for the last 3/4 of an hour, and I can see you smile. I can see you're a happy Muslim, and that encourages me. I mean that genuinely, and it's nothing to take away from you at all, but it's just that I can see that, and it's a witness to me that you're happy in your Muslim faith. Just that, hopefully, I come across as a happy...
What? I looked at her this entire time. She did not look happy even once. What is he talking about? You can't see anything. You apologetic person.
Priest and the nuns did to the children. It's just that also maybe just add that element of witness.
Father, if you're happy, we're happy. Peter, go on.
Just dwell slightly upon a point here.
Okay.
Islam in this country is a proselytizing religion. It wants to expand. It would like to be the main religion in this country if it possibly could. What
religion wouldn't?
Well, Judaism, for instance, wouldn't. And this is already a Christian country, so it's a slightly complicated thing to have Islam. I suspect it does, and I think that's the argument we should really be having, not about her right to do as she wishes, which I wouldn't want to interfere with, but with what Islam actually wants in this society.
Can I just challenge Peter a second?
Please do.
I mean, I would like to know how many people in here have been pressurised or approached by a Muslim to convert to Islam. I would really like if
It
anybody
doesn't take that form, Yvonne. The form it takes is that you send your child to a Christian school and he comes home and he says he's been asked to design a mosque. And this happens a lot.
So you want to come in here?
Islam is very strong.
I've been to the UK. I was offered to convert at the mosques next to the store I went to. So at the end of the day, the point of becoming the greatest religion, like in numbers, is not by telling people to convert. I mean, it's a part of it, but it's bringing more children. It's making Islam immune by using terms like Islamophobe and racist and bigot. It's filling white guilt for the stuff that your country has done in the past, that you allow these immigrants to come from Muslim countries and settle and build mosques and madrasas, and then more people will come from this country, and slowly, slowly the British population will decrease. That's how it's going to happen. And then once Islam is the majority, then you'll have a choice. Either you convert to Islam, you pay the jizya, or we fight you. So choose. Make your choice. It's pretty simple. What do you think? Do you think burqa or niqab, do you think it should be banned in westernized countries? I want to know your answer. Write it down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy specific YouTube perks. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.